Welcome back to the continuation of the 1930 Ford Model A project. What I want to do today is clean up the carbon and grease and dirt from the top end of the engine. Some preliminary checks. The pistons have been replaced at one point in time with an aluminum 30 thousandths over Ford replacement piston. And what we're going to do is just get these pistons cleaned back up. And you can see these intake and exhaust valves, how some of them are severely corroded, but we'll just go ahead and make do with what we have and see what we can clean and loosen the debris. And what I'm going to use is just the air drill with a wire brush in it and clean off some of this carbon. Okay, we have all of the piston tops cleaned up from the carbon. I did try and get some of the cylinder walls cleaned up somewhat with a light honing. I also cleaned the underside of all of the valves. So what I will do next is work on the head and the head gasket and start cleaning things up. I just took the top plate off of the distributor and you can see how galled up it is with years and years of dirt. Just thought you'd like to see that. So we'll continue on with cleaning. All right, we have the top end of the motor cleaned up. We cleaned up the old head gasket the best that we can. We're just gonna reuse it for right now until we see if this thing will run. And I'll turn the motor over a little bit so you can see how all the tops of the pistons got cleaned up. So we'll bring cylinder number 1 up to top dead center, and now we will get the head reinstalled and start with the timing process. All right, we got the head cleaned up and the bottom side nice and smooth. We're gonna get this reinstalled. Also, we tore apart the water pump and got that cleaned up and re-lubricated. Said, I'm not really worried about gaskets right now because we don't have a pulley to run the fan belt, so we'll just get this put back on. Despite getting all these recesses cleaned up, the studs for this water neck are still a little bit stubborn to get this tightened back on. But like I said, we're just going to button this up, get some hardware on here, and then the motor's already set at number 1 cylinder, top dead center. The next thing we'll do is drop in the distributor, and then what we'll have to do later on is clean the manifold as well as the carburetor. All right, here's the manifold with the carburetor still attached. And just preliminary checks, we had fished out some dirt from the ports, and you can see all of this rust and debris came out, mouse nest material. One of the things that I wanted to point out is you can see here where the manifold bolts go that it is split. So I'm not sure if that is like that by design or if it is just broken over time, but you can see there's like a V groove in here. So I'm guessing it was made like that. And it also appears as if this outer casting is a separate piece, and the exhaust flange portion is its own piece also, which would kind of explain why these are separate. And you can also see this is the waffle top style where they had a heater for this car at one point. So what I'm going to do is start with trying to take out these 1/2-inch bolts that holds the carburetor on. This looks like an aftermarket carburetor that was purchased at some time, and we'll see what we find. Light's not on. We'll see how bad this looks inside. Didn't look too bad from there, but we'll see what it looks like after we get this bowl off. So I guess this plastic electrical tape was a great stop leak for the fuel. So I'm gonna unravel this, get this old fuel line off, and then we'll take the top off of the carburetor. All right, we got the tape off. I'm just gonna unscrew this from the upper housing, and then we'll separate the two pieces later on. So you can see all they did was wrap all this tape around there, and I would suspicion there's probably no ferrule inside of that either. All right, we're gonna try and take out these screws, clean out the slots in them. Get that one loose. Out the slot. Loose. Let's see, we'll get over here. It's loose. And we'll get this last one. So if anyone has an idea as to who made this carburetor, please let me know. I am guessing it was some type of an aftermarket because it does not look like the Model A Ford carburetor that I have seen in the past. This one is made out of a composite material, pot metal, Zamac, something to that effect. Got 3 of the 4 screws out. And let's see if we can get lucky. What motor did we tear apart? That was the Spirit of 76 Farmall International Cub Cadet that we were lucky that the previous owner had the fuel turned off and everything was empty and clean. So let's pull this off, see what it looks like. Ventry's intact. Got some build-up debris over here, something. Got an old wasp in there. And let's see, some debris down in here. But overall, not too hateful. The float looks decent. Some spider webs. But we'll see if that holds. And give it a good cleaning, and we'll be back in a little bit. All right, cleaning off some of the dirt. It says made in the USA. Looks like there's a patent number on here, but I do not see any maker's name. On the inside portion, there is a number that's cast into it. You can see that down in here, but no name. So obviously maybe period correct, aftermarket, I don't know. All right, we have the manifold cleaned up and reinstalled on the side of the engine. Carburetor has been cleaned. I'll get that reinstalled. The other thing that we'll look for is a cap to put over our vacuum, because we will not be needing to run any windshield wipers off of this. So those are snugged up. I'll just use a wrench to finish tightening it down. All right, I think we've finished up all that we can for today. As you can see, the manifold, carburetor, and linkages are reinstalled. The distributor has been reinstalled. I believe it is timed correctly, but we'll find out. The vacuum line has been blocked off. with a couple of plugs. And the next thing that we need to do is make an order for some spark plugs and then set up a ignition circuit with a new coil and see if we can get this thing to run. So until next time, I will catch you all later on. I know it's been a long time since the last video, but I appreciate your interest and we'll see what we can do next time. Take care. Bye.